Welcome to the podcast.
Yes, welcome back, Matt, who we have not seen for a little bit. So yeah, season 3, episode 3 of the podcast, and one of the greatest sounds in the world. Did that come through?
Seltzer
Okay?
water. Nothing like seltzer water.
Again, Michelob Ultra, not a sponsor, but we're looking at you, Michelob. Organic light lagers.
Yeah, so refreshing. So refreshing.
Can't beat it. Again, not a sponsor. Intense. Okay. So anyway, this particular podcast was a suggestion from somebody we well, first of all, I want to tell this story because this is one of my favorite, like, how we met somebody stories of all time. So there was a young kid. He's probably like 11 at the time. Now he's like 15 or something. I don't even know how old he is now, but he does have his permit. So he's like, what, 15 and a half, I think you have to be.
Yeah.
So Matt had met this kid on GTA one time, years and years and years ago. And I had no idea how he met him or whatever, but I was playing with Matt around that same time, and came in, and Matt's like, oh, I was playing with this kid, and if you want to, we can work with him and help him like make some money or whatever. And I'm like, okay, that sounds great. And so like one of the first things he comes in and says is, I met Matt during a parachuting mission. Which normally is not funny, but just knowing Matt, like how much he loves the parachuting missions in GTA, so
yes,
good. It was so good.
Yes, there is definitely not a parachuting mission that I have not completed in GTA. So
I'm going to link there is a video. The first time I met this kid's name is Cooper. First time I met Cooper, we were like all riding in a car together, and I was just busting up laughing. It was so goofy, but I happened to record it all. And yeah, him coming out and saying, I met Matt during the parachuting mission, and I just busted up laughing of like, why am I not surprised? Yeah, it was great. So I'm gonna put a link below because I think I even know which video. It was like the greatest car ride of all time, I think is what I called the video. It was so funny. We're like aiming guns at each other inside the car. Is great in a video game, not in real life. So that was fantastic. But anyway, so shout out to Cooper, because Cooper also just subbed to me on Twitch, which is not a free service. So special shout out to him. So he's supporting me financially now. So that's pretty cool.
And let this be a reminder to all you kids to take your allowance and subscribe to people like Colin on Twitch so that they can quit their real job.
That would be that'd be great. It would be much more entertaining for sure. Now I never had any type of dream that I would ever make money from this. It was all just like just want to record this for comedy's sake, for like my own comedy, just to go back and watch like all the stupid stuff we did. It was like, I just want to see it again.
Yeah.
And if you don't record it, it's all just stuck in the memories, so it's worth recording for sure. Anywho, so the suggestion came from Cooper is kind of like origin stories, kind of, how you got started in video games and how we met and where we are today. Oh yeah.
I've never been to Origins, and I've never played the game either. Sorry.
Perfect. So in the podcast, that was a great one.
And perfect. All right. Cut. Wrap.
Beautiful. So yeah, the Matt dog origin story. So we're gonna start with you and maybe give like the couple minute version of how you got to where you are today with video games.
Yeah, and I figured, if I start talking about something and you want to cut in, that's totally fine. I'll just try to remember where I was in my origin story, so it can be a back and forth, no problem. Right?
Indeed. It does look like you do have a great idea though, with the light bulb above your head. So I do like that.
Well, I can adjust if you need, if it's not translating well for the video.
It's perfect.
So I'm pretty old now, 45, and I started playing video games on the Atari 2600. Then my family got a Commodore 64, which, you know, had floppy disk, and you'd put it in a drive, and you'd never put the disk on top of the disk drive or it would erase it. And sure enough, my brother did that to our favorite game, which was California games, where you could play like some mountain biking and some skateboarding and surfing and whatever. And sure enough, my brother put the first disc, the loading disc, on top of the disc drive, and it erased it. And really, that Commodore 64 then sat dead for years. So flash forward to college. The job I was working, people were telling me about this little cheater thing that they could sell me for like $25 on the good old PlayStation. I really never, Nintendo, stuff like that, I never really played it. My brother and his friend, I mostly watched them play, like Mike Tyson's Punch Out and Super Mario. They got really good at it. You know, they would beat it. And I found it entertaining to watch them play it, but I never really was good or played it myself. So then in college, where I was working, these guys had this little cheater box for PlayStation. So I got a PlayStation, and then I was getting all these like burned games. Like they would rent a game and burn it, and they'd give me a copy, and I'd use this little cheater box. So I had hundreds of games for that.
I think the
And
statute of limitations is over for any of that stuff. So I think you're good.
Yeah. So anywho, I didn't play it a ton. You know, I was in college, so I was doing other stuff like partying and chicks.
Right. Yeah.
Anywho, flash forward to several years after college, and coworkers again are playing on Xbox. They're telling me about Call of Duty, or actually prior to the Xbox, there was a coworker that was playing Battlefield on PC. So I went and bought the Battlefield game, put it in my PC. Well, it didn't have enough RAM to load the game. So then I had to order some RAM and put it in this PC. And then the RAM wasn't the problem. It was the graphics cards. I had to order a graphics card to put in this PC. And this was just like a little cheap, like machine for very light duty stuff at home. Yeah. Yeah. Some light duty stuff. So anyways, I got it set up and started, you know, playing Battlefield on the PC, and I really loved it. Like that first player shooter, that game I just felt was awesome. I really found my love for like those more of the not team deathmatch games, but more the objective games, like capturing flags, holding them, and then winning that way. I wasn't a KD person, you know, as long as my team win. I was more of a win-loss guy than a you know, KD guy. So that I played that. Then I got like Battlefield 2142, which was that one was awesome. I put in so many hours on that game. I don't know if those servers still work, but it'd be fun to go back and play that game.
It might. It's got a good big player base. It might.
Yeah. So then from there, guys at work were starting to play on the original Xbox, the black one with the X on it, and they were playing Call of Duty and stuff. And they were telling me, "Yeah, you can, you know, go online on the Xbox and play together." And I'm like, "Okay." So I got one and got the games, and a lot of guys at work, we played it on there for a long time. You know, every time a new one would come out, we'd get it, play it. And it was pretty much, for me, it was pretty much my Call of Duty machine. I didn't really play anything else on there. I didn't play a lot of Halo. I did go through the story modes on the Halo, but then from there, I got my 360, probably around 360 days, 2013, when GTA came out. Colin had previously worked for a sister company of ours on a part-time basis, so I knew him from that, and we were friends on Facebook. So GTA came out, some coworkers were talking about how amazing it was, and it was never a game that I showed really interest in. I did see my brother and one of his college roommates play a previous version, but it wasn't, I didn't think much of it. But these guys at work really hyped it up, so I went and got it, and boy, am I glad. It's a life changer. But one night I just made a post on Facebook that said, "Hey, I'm going to Los Santos tonight. If anyone wants to join me, here's my gamer tag on Xbox." Sure enough, Colin sees that post, bam, friends, and we started playing that game ever since. It's still kind of, that started our bromance. So, so from there, we've progressed, and we, download different games just to try them out and stuff. And Colin records all this stuff, which I'm glad. It's kind of fun to be able to go back and look at where we were, years ago. And it's so crazy how fast it moves, just watching, like I was telling you, or made the comments on the video when I hit level 500 on there, and that was nearly 3 years ago. And it just, time has really flown by. And now Xbox, I did buy the Series X, which I played for about 3 hours, and I'm still playing on my Xbox One. I'm pretty sure I could probably just download Apex on the
I think you probably can, yeah.
Series X, and we go cross-platform the way that stuff works now. But I just don't know how it's going to fit on my gaming table or whatever else. But really, that's my story as far as gaming, how I got into it, how I met Colin. And we've been doing this for, 8 years now, right?
Yeah, something like that.
I've never seen anyone more dedicated to pumping out a video every day on YouTube than Colin, which, it's, hopefully people find it entertaining to watch those videos, but at the same time, really, you started doing that just because it was fun for you, not to become YouTube famous, but to remind yourself of where you've been.
Yeah, I would definitely I would like growth for sure. Like, you don't want to just sit there and do it for nothing. And so yeah, like some growth and like more and more people to like comment and like it. And like my views are increasing pretty dramatically, I think. I mean, dramatically for a small person, I guess. But
yeah.
So that's nice. I mean, I jump back, 2 years ago, I'd be lucky to get 40, 50 views on something. And if I jump back to 2014 when I started, I was glad when I got 10, 15 views on something. Like, that was exciting. And 2-3 likes, that was great,
And definitely I see it all the time too, because I remember just like a year ago, you took a hiatus for a little while because it wasn't growing and it was kind of stagnant or whatever, and it was a lot of work for you. There's a lot of stuff going on. We're adults, we have stuff in our lives other than that. And back then, most of your videos had 60 views. Now everything that comes out, you're getting like that 140 consistently. So that's good. And maybe it's not about subscribers or people doing that, but hopefully they find it funny and they come back and watch another one. And not that we're trying to be comedians, but we're sometimes just trying to be entertaining. And we play video games because it helps us escape from our regular lives and stresses and stuff that we have to deal with as adults. So hopefully people see that in the videos.
Like that's such a great insight too, because if I jump back even like maybe 15, 20 years ago, but even like going back farther, like you play video games, have a good time. Now, like as an adult with adult responsibilities and stuff, you definitely play it as a like release, and like I got to get away from my day-to-day things, and like I just need a few hours like away from other types of contact where I can just blow stuff up and laugh at corpse launches or whatever.
And we never have really taken ourselves too serious or have been too sweaty about games. We've played with some people that definitely have that more competitive attitude, which is great, especially if they're your teammate because they can help carry you. But at the same time, it's definitely for me, like over the last 2 years, just the different struggles that, we've had, it's really been a saving grace because you don't have to wear a mask to do it and you can do it by yourself.
100%.
So it's definitely, video games, at my age, I think it's more common now than 10 years ago. If someone was 45 playing video games, people would probably say, why don't you grow up? But now it's more commonplace. Like people are making money playing video games. So
100%. Yeah, I mean, I've even seen like videos of like elderly people like in their 60s and 70s playing or whatever and getting all pissed off and screaming and all this stuff for losing. It's hilarious. So yeah, that's probably going to be us one day where
yep, probably the nurse, my family members are going to have to put me in a nursing home that has the best internet connection, right? The highest speed internet, so that I can get on there and pwn the 10-year-olds or get pwned by the 10-year-olds and then be angry about it.
Yeah. And that's what's so interesting. I always thought it was like the 10-year-olds, but now I'm finding like it's got to be like the 19 to 25-year-olds. I think those are now like the new sweaties. Like I was so worried like it was always like the 13-year-olds, but I'm finding like I can still beat the 13-year-olds, but as soon as they're getting like those late teens, it's you're done for. I think that's like peak gaming time.
And that's your peak sexual time as well for these young men. And this is the problem that the world is having because the birth rate is so low because these guys are playing the video games extra sweaty and they're not out there getting extra sweaty with ladies.
Did we just
make them babies?
Did we just discover something? Like, is that related? Like prime peak testosterone?
Yes.
100%. Like that's just the rage, that's the anger, that's the competitiveness.
Yeah.
So peak sexual time is is the sweaty time. Yeah, like 18 to 25-ish. Yeah,
and then they're complaining about the birth rate is going down, like people aren't having babies. And it's probably because they're all being sweaty,
Apex playing Call of Duty and
killing us, man.
Killing the old guys that are coming back from work. Like, man, I had a really bad day. I just need a couple beers and play some video games and just get obliterated. Like, I've seen so many memes of like the man like coming home from work like, oh man, what a horrible day. Like, I just need to go play some video games. And then it's just total death and you're just crying in the corner in fetal position type of stuff. Oh, it's crazy. So yeah, flip side, my origin story is similar-ish. I am also an old person. I am about to turn 40. So that is pretty scary. But I feel like I got to take place in like the golden age of video games where like I got to start with the Atari and all that jazz as well, and working through the Nintendos and the Super Nintendos. Like getting all those was fantastic. We had the Sega Genesis, we had the original PlayStation. The only thing I don't think I ever really owned was the Nintendo 64, but like I had a couple friends that did it, and I remember playing a lot of Mario Kart on that and a lot of like Wayne Gretzky's hockey. So it was like a 2-on-2 hockey thing. I remember a friend had that, and like we'd stay up all night long playing Wayne Gretzky's hockey back then. It was insane. So
with those 8-bit graphics.
Those 64. This is 64, but either way, today it's pretty bad. So
it's
looking back on it, it's like this is Wayne Gretzky. Like you can't tell, but yeah, it was those were the good old days. So yeah, then like college-ish age, I don't remember when the original Xbox came out, but like I never played like online on like the original Xbox. I don't even know if I ever connected it, but I just loved the story modes of like all the like the Call of Duties and then all the Halos, and then moving on to like the Xbox 360 and doing the same things over again, and like But then they had like all the whole like Modern Warfare series, and those were some of the best, probably like story modes of all time, in my opinion. Like that whole Modern Warfare series. Um, and then yeah, to echo Matt thing, like I wasn't playing a ton online, maybe just some like sports games, and then really like GTA was like one of the first things like I was playing like regularly online. And it was the only thing I wanted to do that was, I mean, it wasn't a competitive game. It was more or less like back then we were just doing it to just find, goofy glitches and gate launches and all that stuff.
or
Like
or just
that was
make
the
money.
best.
I mean, I would grind. I mean, early on I
Yes.
knew that the grinding was going to be beneficial,
Oh yeah.
right? And then for like me being able to do the grinding, it was just so muscle memory and just an escape for me. So that was, I mean, it was good. It wasn't sweaty.
Yeah,
I
it's a good
wasn't
way to
trying
like
to win.
turn your brain off while you're still playing video
Correct.
games. And it's like I can make all this money while doing like mundane things, and it helps me, and I don't have to think, and I'm just no responsibility. Is what it is.
Correct.
Yeah, I
Correct.
remember what was like the best mission, because like old school GTA, there was no like great money making things other than doing like missions. Oh, Rooftop Rumble.
Yeah,
Like
we would
that was
log
the
like,
one. Like
yeah. And then what we would do was like to grind, we would log in, or like this was my pattern. Log in, I would go steal a car and sell it. Then I would steal a car, steal a car, steal a car until Lester called and said he wanted that car. Then I would go sell that one to Lester. After that's done, I would go and start up the missions, Rooftop Rumble, um, whatever, the
Covenant.
Titan of a job. Yeah, Covenant was one
Yeah.
before they changed
Pot
it, and then
shot.
they got
Yeah.
Rod at Pot Shot, and we would just do a couple of those missions, and then after like the 30 minutes or 45 minutes, we would load back in, steal a car, sell it, then export
Yeah.
one to Lester or whatever, and it was just, it was a grind like that at the beginning, and
Yeah.
it was okay. Sometimes you would get in. Oh, we would rob convenience stores for like the $1,000 they would give out. And, you know,
But like back then, like the $1,000
yeah,
kind of went a
yeah,
long way.
yeah,
Like it
it
wasn't
did for sure.
useless money, but
Yeah,
yeah.
because you only had like two different guns back then that were available.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy thinking back. And then like when they came out, maybe like 2018-ish, 2019, they came out with the edition you could buy where you get like $1 million and you get a free office and a free bunker or something.
Oh yeah,
Frankly,
the
like I was kind of pissed off. I was like, man, like think of how hard we worked for that. And now people are just getting
yeah,
it for free. Like, oh man,
yeah.
a little frustrating. And now just
I
everybody's flying around in jets and oppressors, and yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I still think that game just stands the test of time. I still enjoy it and think about getting on there and playing it. And I think that's how like those Battlefield games, like that Battlefield 2142, like when I was at work, I would be thinking about getting home to play that game. It probably, early on, some of those Call of Duty games, the original ones, I mean, I think it
Yeah.
definitely caused a riff in my marriage because I would come home and that's all I wanted to do. And eventually we had to kind of work out a schedule where I was only playing a couple nights a week or whatever, which is still now the schedule years later. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's
it's
kind
a
of nice.
balance,
Yeah, my,
right?
my family's just kind of gotten used to it. It's like, oh, it's Wednesday. Okay, well, everybody just gotta leave dad alone, and
You know,
it's kind of nice. So
yeah,
uh
no one makes
yeah.
plans Wednesday night or Saturday nights.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, I remember like the original, like when GTA first came out, and I'm guessing it was probably still back on the 360 days. Like we were playing like more like 5 times a week back then.
Yeah, it
Like it
was,
was a
it
lot.
was, yes, yes.
So for an adult, like I don't know, I looking back, like that was great. That was a lot of fun. I was definitely addicted, and like where it was like yeah, thinking about it like all day at work, like, oh man, I should do this, we need to do that,
Yeah.
and need to get this accomplished. And I really want that outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I'm glad I am limited, but yeah, I do miss those days where just like every night new stuff was happening. And but you know, I mean that crap probably is gonna pick back up whenever like the next GTA or whatever does drop. Like, yeah, I'm gonna drop
Well,
everything for quite a while to
well, my
deal with
my
that.
thing too is like I think about like if I had not been married at the time, I could have really fallen down the rabbit hole and like just it could have consumed me, right? But my you know my wife speaks up and says, "Hey, this might be a little unhealthy. We gotta we gotta set some boundaries here and plan because I wanted to do this with you tonight, and you're running up there to play video games." So
Yeah, I mean, getting like you know, you would honestly, if you would like continue to play and like the way, I mean, you still play a pretty decent amount even like on like a Saturday or whatever, and you might just grind for a couple hours doing your own random
yeah,
things and still leveling up. And I think probably around level like 450-ish you passed me, and just, you know, haven't looked back since. You may have beat me to like level 400, but
mm,
I think I beat you to level 300. But after
yeah,
that, it was yeah, it was you all the way. Yeah, if you were just like, if you were not married, you'd probably be like level 1200 or so by now.
yeah,
So
probably, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's ridiculous.
I mean, the problem though we have right now in GTA between, we both have this problem is, we're sitting at 30 million plus. I mean,
Yeah.
and a new update just came out. So it's like, you know, we still have all that cash. It's like, am I going to be able to spend all this before the next incarnation comes out? And the answer is probably no. We probably won't
No.
spend it all. Though I guess we could go through and buy every piece of clothing and we
I
would probably
we
bankrupt ourselves.
Yeah, I don't know if I have enough for that. I mean, I have a lot of clothes, but I don't know if I have enough for everything.
What if this is another be an entertaining video is if the new one's coming out and we know that you can't transfer characters, money, or anything like that, we just make a video where we're just buying everything. Like today's video, GTA video is I am gonna blow this whole wad of cash. I'm just gonna buy everything.
I love
Right?
it. Yeah, yeah.
That
$40
would
million
be an
dollar spending spree. Yeah,
yes,
it's
it would be kind
fantastic.
of entertaining, and it would take so long, so it'd have to be one of those like fast forward videos.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like, I'm gonna buy a couple of these you know, super nice like supercars and, you know, deck them out. And I never bought this one
Yep.
from Benny's. I'm gonna buy this
Yep.
and get this all pimped out. And
Oh, you
yeah.
know what you should do is buy the brigade. It's like
So yeah, this is like a PSA. If like you're
yeah.
just now getting into it and you're like getting all this money, don't buy under what's the military one on your phone?
Uh
What's that? Something
um
something like Mary, where you'd buy like the Titan and
not
tanks,
Mary
and
it's not Merryweather. It's
I forget what it's called. Warstock, cash
yeah,
and
Warstock and Cash and Carry. Yep.
yeah, that one. Yeah. There's a thing in there called a brigade. Holds like 6 people or 8 people or something like that. I don't know. A lot of people, and it looks awesome. It sucks. It's not
Never buy it.
armored. I thought it was like 100% armored, like it would take like 20 rockets. Nope, takes
Yeah.
one. It is fun
And
that
the
you can hold on to the side.
yeah, the 6 people, like 4 of them have to hold on to the side. Only 2 can
Right.
sit in it.
Yeah, like I thought, like, okay, 2 in front, 6 can like climb in the back. Nope, you can't even open the back. Like, it's dumb.
Yeah.
Doesn't steer well. Yeah, that was $1 million waste right there.
Yeah. I
Yep.
mean,
Should
now
have watched the
looking back
video on
on
that.
it with the oppressor Mark II, the oppressor was a stupid waste of money as well.
The original one?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
I mean, at its time, it was awesome though.
Yeah, it was cool.
So, yeah.
You'd crash it all the time, and it's great for the end game events of like the longest Not the longest wheelie. What is it? Oh, the longest jump or whatever.
Yeah.
Is
Yep.
it as you're doing
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
little dolphin dives or whatever? Yeah. So you'll
Yeah.
win that
You could
every time.
always win that. Yeah. Um, yeah, I think I mean we've figured it out over the years that like the vehicles you need, definitely Deluxo, armored Karuma, Buzzard. Like maybe Mark II oppressor because you got to be able to compete with the other people that are running that. But really, that's what you need. And then maybe like whatever the current best, fastest supercar is. So
Yeah.
like if you're doing races, but other than that, I mean, everything else is just for drip.
Yeah.
You see that drip?
That's what the kids say nowadays.
Yeah, for the drip.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure. Yeah, there's like 5 vehicles, 100%. That's all you need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and honestly,
Yeah.
like I don't even know if you need the latest and greatest supercar. I think if you get like there's probably a series of like 5 or 6 of them. Just like pick one of them that's good and you're fine.
Yeah, and I
Like
think with GTA, if you guys are just getting started in it, Colin's channel is not about tips and tricks or how to do stuff in video games. It's
yeah, you don't want that on the regular
it's
from me.
it's how not to do stuff more so. But in any case, you can always message Colin and ask him, for suggestions, especially like if you're just starting out in GTA or something, or even Apex or whatever. He has a lot of knowledge just from his experience that he can share that with you. He's not against doing that. So
No, my only issue and concern, and like I've had like people like pop into like if I'm streaming or whatever, like pop into the chat and ask like, "Hey, can you help me make money?" And like the problem is like you can't like just start and make like a couple 100 million real fast.
yeah, it's a grind for
It's a
sure.
grind, and you have to be patient, and you have to be willing to put in the work, and you have to be willing to spend money to make money. Like there's been several people we've tried to help in the past who not to name any names, but they'll like, okay, do this, spend this $1 million and buy this motorcycle club and then buy this, motorcycle business. And they do all that and they're like, well, I'm not making much. It's like, well, you have to sell it a few times, then you've paid it off. And then everything going forward is
Yeah.
profit. But they'll
Yeah.
still sell it 1 or 2 times and then they quit. And it's like, well, yeah, you've lost a couple 100,000.
Yeah.
So
Or
that's on
you lost a
you.
million
But
or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
you have to be willing to spend 5 million to slowly make some money back. And but it's getting up to that point, like nowadays, like trying to work your way to own an office and on your way, earn enough to get a um like a motorcycle club and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, like I think you have to do like the heists or whatever right now to like get that first million, but it's not too
Well,
hard.
I think too, though, like one of the biggest mistakes that I see GTA players making, especially newer and younger kids, is they get a sum of money. Like, let's say they get invited to a heist finale and they score that $1 million or whatever. They go and buy the Mark II oppressor so that they can be the griefer,
Right.
and it's such a waste of money at that point. That's the $1 million you need to be invested in your nightclub that makes you
Yeah.
the money while you sleep, really. Or
Yeah.
invest in the biker businesses and stuff like that. I mean, that's the cash cows.
Well, and the oppressor is just going to cost you money too, because you're going to be so tempted to just blow up things.
Yeah.
Like I think it's worth getting if you've got everything else. Like Matt and I have hundreds of cars. We have all the businesses we could ever want. We've got the arcades. We've got the nightclubs. We've got everything. So we buy it just to the sake of having it, but it's not like we ever use it. But the
Yeah.
people who
And
do use it blow up other people, and they have to pay 10,000, 20,000 here and there all the time.
yeah, that happens so often. I'm in my Deluxo and these Mark II oppressor guys just blow me up. And I'm like, okay, that just cost you 10 grand to blow me up. And I don't go after them. I just call Moore's Mutual, get it replaced at their expense. And I go
Yeah.
about my business. You know what I'm
It
saying?
wastes 20 seconds of your time and costs them $20,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
Yeah.
So talk to me about I mean the other like current big thing that we do play obviously is Apex. So talk to me about your Apex experience. And I mean I remember our first game playing. I don't know if you remember that. Like I have it like vividly in my head for some reason. I don't. Do you remember that first time you and I fired up Apex and dropped in?
No, I do not. I
I do, and it was scary.
uh, well, I mean,
yeah,
the Apex kind of came on the heels of the Fortnite. We tried Fortnite a few
Yeah.
times with some other people that we used to play Call of Duty with. They were well more advanced than us. I was more about collecting supplies. I didn't know how to build stuff.
right.
Fortnite, I loved just ratting out, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that would get me top 2, right? And the Apex, I think I'm okay with that plan as well. But some of these games like the Call of Duties and the Apex, I was playing on a large TV and I was sitting far away from it. 2 years ago, I bought a little gaming desk with a gaming monitor and chair and stuff so that I was closer. And I feel like that has improved my focus, or at least my ability to see what's going on the whole screen.
Mhm.
But for me, Apex, I struggle with it a lot. I feel like I couldn't hit people when I was shooting at them. It wasn't like Call of Duty when I could hit people in Call of Duty. However, recently with the Rampage, it really changed my game. Like my damage went up every game. My kills went up. I just felt like I was actually able to hit people, and it was just because the way I hold my controller and am used to Call of Duty, where I pull the left trigger in to aim,
Yeah,
not hip fire. That gun really, benefited me. And then they had to remove it and make some changes. Not that it's that big of a deal.
right.
Um,
It's back
but
now.
I've been,
So there you go.
yeah, I know. But what I've realized is, Colin sometimes will send me tips and tricks videos from the guys that, are good at doing that, or that's what their channel's about. And I try to take that stuff to heart, because I don't want to be so bad that Colin doesn't want to play with me anymore. But
I will
at the
take
same
entertainment
time,
over wins any day of the
yeah,
week. So
yeah. But sometimes it's
100%.
not entertaining when I make the same mistake over and over and over again. But
I mean, it's not a big
anyways,
deal. I mean, I make the same mistakes too. Like I'll overextend, and it's not easy for me to like realize like I've done that. So like I've started catching you. Like that's something like I've noticed like that's cost you and I both like a lot of games. Is like one of us overextends, and the second one of us gets knocked, like the game's over. Like we're done for. Like it's so hard to come back from an outnumbered situation. And so like I've started noticing like, okay, Matt's overextending, let's pull him back. And like it's settled things down a lot. So I feel like overall, like we're a little bit more competitive and better than we used to be. So yeah, I
but
mean, there's
like for
potential there.
me, so this is me being nerdy about the video games
Yeah.
or whatever. So I made a spreadsheet, and I have several. This is the one from last night. So I put the date, and then whether
But this was like last night, like we were just goofing off though, right? Like
yeah,
this
that's
wasn't us
why.
playing serious. Yeah.
That's why these have the stars next to them, because we were trying that like trap thing. So a
Yeah.
lot of times I'll make designations like that.
Okay.
But I have where we finished, and then I have whether it was like duos, trios, or ranked. And then usually at the bottom I'll put like what our overall stats were. Like, hey,
Okay.
we played 11 matches, we had 10 top 10s, 5 top 5s, right? Or whatever, 3 top 5s or wins. But you know, there's a whole full sheet again.
Some wins
But
on there. There we go.
Yeah, there's some wins. There's a couple wins. A lot of top tens. I mean,
we're very good. I feel like if we grinded ranked and we only did ranked, we could easily get up to like high plat, low diamond just by constantly getting like top threes.
Yeah, I mean, if I look through these, I mean, you have 12 games, 7 top fives, 11 games, 4 top fives, 28 matches. That was a long session.
Night. Jesus.
Yeah, eight top fives. So
well, we must have been goofing off because I feel like in 28 games we should have normally we would have we must have been like dicking around that night.
Yes, we were goofing off. We had Wade Wilson was with us.
Okay.
And like I think it was when the new map dropped, so we really didn't know where to go or what we were doing. So I think that's what that was. But yeah, I have these going back pretty far. But that's just something fun I do on the side. You know, it's not that big of a deal. I don't know if anyone else does stupid stuff like that.
I'm sure there are people out there who like really analyze their stuff, but there's no analytics there. It's just like fun tracking.
Yeah, it's just fun tracking, and then you can like look at what the night was like. Like an overall view, like, oh, we were pretty successful, even though it didn't feel like we were doing much. But
right,
I mean, this is coming from the two guys that have spreadsheets for their GTA cars. Nerd.
Yeah, for sure. I need to update mine though. Like I feel like I fell behind on mine.
Yeah, mine is really outdated because I've added so much stuff.
Yeah.
Remember what's her name used to always make fun of me because I had my notebook, right? Because like I would, if there was when GTA would add like a treasure hunt, I would print the map for the treasure hunt and then put it in a book and then go by each thing. Oh gosh,
that's pretty cool though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a nerd about it. Whatever, it's what I do.
I missed out on so many little treasure hunts, unfortunately. Like. And like with the maps or whatever, like I would get like half of them and then like forget kind of where I was and which ones I did, and it's impossible. But I do find like every once in a while, like I'll just randomly bump into something and which
happened the other night when we were playing GTA. You bumped into the music thing.
Yeah. What the hell is this?
Yeah.
Like, why is my controller vibrating all of a sudden? Like, what's going on? There we go. All right, so what else? I mean, I feel like those like GTA and Apex right now are like 99%, but you also play a lot of Red Dead, which I've phased away from. It's just not as quite as entertaining as what I wished it would have been.
Well, for me, the Red Dead, again, it brings me back to the grinding of GTA. The Red Dead, I don't know what the end goal is, right? There is no real end goal. I just log in there. I'm drinking a couple beers. I'm riding a horse around. I'm shooting some animals, and then I'm bringing them back to the camp. And then every hour, whatever, the camp's ready to sell, and I sell it, and I get $500, right? And again, it's just me grinding, but it's a game that like I can do it by myself. You know, like if it's a Saturday at noon and you're at your kid's basketball game and no one's on playing with me, or I just want to, escape or whatever. It's a good mindless task kind of thing. And the graphics on that game are pretty spectacular.
Yeah,
so it's an easy game to play. It's easy on the eyes, Did
you see the thing where somebody was
kind of like
taking
Leisure Suit Larry?
Yeah, 100%, exactly. So somebody was taking screen captures from Red Dead and sending them into like a news station for like they're like going out, like getting ready to go to a commercial break.
Like how the news, the news
and it's says, like out
look
and
at
about.
This look at this sunset that Colin captured.
It's like, oh my god, yeah. Like if you lived out like in the outside of Denver somewhere, you could easily send that into a local station and say, yes, here I took this while I was out hiking today.
Yeah.
They'd have no idea.
Yeah.
Except for a group of like gaming nerds that would catch it and be like, oh my God, these stupid idiots.
Yeah.
True story. This actually happened. That's perfect. So yeah, what else does Matt like to play? Are you playing anything else?
No, I mean, we download those different games and play them, like the golf with the friends, the stupid battle simulators, the weird, what are those weird games, man?
The totally accurate. Oh,
or the
human
weird
fall flat and the gang beasts.
Yeah,
Like
and
that.
I mean, we had some fun playing the Among Us, but I feel like we were kind of late to the party on that.
But yeah, we're like 2
but at
years
the same
behind.
time, yeah,
we maybe like jump back into that for a couple more games. Like it was fun, but yeah, we're a little late.
It was, and it was hard getting people to fill it up or whatever. But once we did, it was entertaining.
Yeah, for sure.
Cheater.
I no cheating whatsoever.
Straight lying.
Nope. All right, so like yeah, I mean I guess that's it. Anything else as far as gaming goes, or what you're looking forward to, or anything and everything?
No, I mean we're definitely looking for the college football game once that pops off. Also, if there's an announcement for a GTA 6, that will be pretty game changing. Other than that, I think it's just, grinding and playing and drinking those Michelob Ultras. Not yet a sponsor.
There is rumors that an announcement of GTA 6 or something Rockstar created is supposed to be announced this year. So that is the news around Reddit anyway. So
yeah.
Also, it sounds like in season 12 of Apex, there's going to be a new mode, like a 12v12 mode that is like a domination type mode, which I think is like right up your alley. So so yeah, if it's like a hold, an A, B, or C type of thing, I that may be something you'd really like. So.
Yeah, and then of course, with 12v12, my one is not as dramatic as when you're 3v3v3v3. Well, if you are playing 2v3s, you're going to get beat, or 1v3s, you're going to get beat most of the time.
Yeah.
So, if you go out there and you're a little more aggressive, and your team is 11 versus 12, well, you can make that up, right? So
yeah, for sure.
So
yeah, not too hard. Yeah, I mean that's always seems like my experience, like with those things, like when we're like playing even like Call of Duty. I don't think of what else we've done here recently where it's like, well, we're like way outnumbered. Where it's like, oh, like in Battlefield, we were playing like the Star Wars Battlefield or Battlefront.
The Battlefront. Yeah.
Where it's like, man, like why do I feel like we were doing okay? And then we ended up getting our butts kicked. We see like the end score is like, oh, we were outnumbered. Like 10 to 18.
10 to 4. Yeah. So yeah.
Like Jesus. Yeah, that will kill you for sure. People need to stop leaving games unless it's an emergency. Everybody's like, oh man, I have one bad experience and I just leave. I don't know. I hate it. Whatever.
What are you doing the rest of the afternoon?
Figuring out something for dinner, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, just order pizza. Simple. Bam. Got it for you.
No, I am sadly about a week into no carbs. So
oh man. So I started January with no carbs. About 5 days in, I was losing my mind. Yeah. And I still am always trying to eat as low carb as I can, but man, it was messing with me mentally. Yeah. And I think it's definitely part of the lifestyle, and I think we try to do it, but we always have setbacks. Like it's easier to order a pizza
Yes.
and then you eat it and then you feel terrible because you just ruined all the work you did, right? I mean, it's a nightmare.
It would be different if like I was like 2 months in. I'm like, yeah, I can just do a pizza because that's not gonna hurt me. Yeah, it's gonna set me back a couple days, but really I can get back into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, a weekend is pretty hard. That's a
Well,
bad time to do it.
Like for me, man, we were trying to do the dry January and no carb like same time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, oh my God. It'd be like if you were trying to quit smoking and trying to quit heroin at the same time. Like
that's dangerous.
It was like, oh, I'm gonna try to quit heroin, but I also have to quit smoking. No.
Keep smoking, please.
Yeah,
yes.
It's
wow.
It was very tough to say the least. So it's, you can't be angry at yourself each day, is a new day or a new way to start, right? So
for sure.
Now obviously today I'm gonna have a couple beers and did you just mute yourself?
Yeah, I was muted. There's like kids screaming in the background, so I was trying to prevent it.
Perfect. I love
yelling at each other out there.
Yeah, perfect, man. This will make great content for the podcast.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody wants to hear my kids yelling at each other out there.
Yep. In any case, I'm going to jump on GTA. I'm going to try to. I read the newswire every week to see what I can benefit, or what I can get for free. So I want to hit a one of those payphone contracts where the payphones ring and then you got to go kill somebody or whatever. I think you get like free the T-shirt that Moody Man has, like the orange one with the crazy eyes, the droopy eyes,
Very
and
cool.
then some other stuff. But I just want to get in here and do it because last night I fell asleep. But I was telling Holly today, like I am not getting good sleep during the week. So like on the weekends, I need to sleep in, and it's this new dog. She's a crazy animal.
Mm-hmm.
She opened our pantry this week, and there's a basket in there with tons of dog treats, and she ate all these dog treats. Like just opened the package, ate all the treats out of them. You knew the other dog got in there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Oh my God, it was a nightmare.
She gets sick from that?
Yeah, she had some diarrhea, but she ate my chicken wings one night, like 10 of them, 10 barbecue chicken wings. And dogs aren't supposed to eat chicken bones.
No.
This dog,
too small.
This dog has like her gut must be like made of aluminum or something. Like she could eat nails and probably not have a problem, like
no.
But we love her so much, even though she's like this crazy animal. Like yesterday we went out for my birthday, come back, and this dog had got all this shit out of the trash without knocking the trash can over. Like
that's sneaky.
Yeah,
did even like a tall trash can? Or like,
yeah, we have a tall trash can that you have to put your foot on and open it.
Okay.
So what we do, because she will lift it open with her nose, so what we do is rotate it around. This dog rotated the thing, got all this shit. Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
Yep. This dog. Oh, the dog saw us. So our food bowls, it has a big drawer underneath where we keep the food. So we open the drawer, put out the cups of food. The dog watched us do that a couple times. The dog goes in there, opens the drawer, and just starts eating food out of there. So I had to put a lock on it. I'm serious. I had to put a lock on the food dish.
Oh my gosh. Dogs, man. What are you going to do?
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Can't get rid of them. All right, sir.
Bengals?
Well, Bengals look pretty good. I don't feel great about the Steelers tonight. That's probably not going to be so well.
Yeah, the Steelers did win the Super Bowl from like the 6th or 7th seed previously. So you never know.
Yeah.
Could be the swan song for Ben.
Any given Sunday for sure. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's why they play the games. All right, man.
That's
It's good.
true.
Good
Good talking to you.
Podcast.
Yeah, glad
Also,
glad to have you back a little bit. We'll record more with you for sure.
yeah.
Get you
Also,
back on more.
InBev, the owners of Budweiser. If you're looking for any YouTubers that you want to sponsor with your delicious products,
100%. 100%. Oh well. All right, guys. Well, yeah. Again, thanks for watching, listening, and we'll talk to you all later. See ya.